I got this function and this function. That's what I first see. That's the first thing I see if I'm like hovering over the problem, not going inside of it yet. I see two functions, and so I think product rule. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the derivative of the first one times the second, and I'm going to add the first one times the derivative of the second. That's what I'm thinking here. So the first one is this nasty fraction looking thing. And the second one is 2x plus 7. Notice I haven't done anything. I'm just kind of organizing right now. But this is what I do in my head before I do anything. I just did the product rule. It's not simplified, but that's the product rule is what I just did. Now you can see, oh, now I see where I need to do the quotient rule. You only have to do the quotient rule right here because you're taking the derivative of this. That's not a power of 1. I'm trying to write a prime right there. So it should be probably a little bit more sideways, but that's prime. And this is prime. Now, prime means that I'm going to differentiate whatever's inside of these parentheses. So then you would differentiate this and simplify. So I'm going to give you guys some time to do that right now. Okay, let's do the quotient first, the quotient rule. So we had the derivative of the top part. So that would be 4 times the bottom minus, now we have the top, which is 4x minus 3 times the bottom, the derivative of the bottom. And the derivative of the bottom is negative 3. All divided by 5 minus 3x. And this is all multiplying to 2x plus 7. Plus, so there's my plus. Yeah. Did I do something wrong?
The bottom.
Oh, I got to square the bottom, thank you. So I square the bottom. Don't forget that. Okay, and then on the right side, I have the fraction. I'm not doing anything with him this time. And then a derivative of this is just 2. So then distribute the 4 on this guy, and you get to distribute this negative 3 over here. And don't forget about this negative. That's what people mess up on a lot with quotient rules. All right, so I get, we'll say 20, and then minus 12x minus whatever happens over here. And that's going to be negative 12x plus 9. And then I have to distribute that negative. And so this is going to be positive, positive, negative. Now I can combine like terms. So I get, for my x terms go away. That's kind of neat. And then I get 11. So I get 11 over 5 minus 3x, and that's going to be squared. That is being multiplied by 2x plus 7. And you add to that this business. I'm just going to distribute this 2 to this and this. Don't forget, if it's not a fraction, you're only multiplying that number to the numerator. I get 8x minus 6, and then I have 5 minus 3x on the bottom. And that's as far as I want to take this one right now. I don't think it's necessary to, well, I guess this denominator is almost the same as this denominator. I could do more work, but the rest of it's algebra. It's not calculus, and so let's just leave it like that for now. To the beginning of this, what most of you guys had the question on was, how do you know what you do first, quotient rule or product rule? So this one you had to do product rule first, and then you did the quotient rule inside of it. Let me give you an example where you would have to do the quotient rule first, and the product rule is inside of that. So right here, the bigger thing happening here is this division. So this whole thing is your function that you have to simplify, and there's 2 parts to it. There's the numerator and there's the denominator. On the numerator, you actually have 2 functions multiplying to each other. And so on the numerator, you're going to have to do the product rule, but that's inside the quotient rule. Quotient rule is the bigger thing happening right now. And so the way that one would look would be like this. You take the derivative of the top first. So I'm going to do big parentheses and put a prime. You multiply that times the bottom. And then you go, need more space. Subtract from that. So the derivative of the bottom, well, I'm going to write the top first. So 2x cosine x. And then the derivative of the bottom, which is 3x plus 1. Derivative of that. Then on the bottom, you have the denominator squared. And so then I just have to simplify this and I get my answer. But notice that right here, when I'm doing the derivative of the top part, I'm going to have to use a product rule right here. But the product rule is inside the quotient rule. As opposed over here, the quotient rule was inside the product rule. So look at the difference between the way this looks and the way this looks, and practice makes perfect.